So
Okay.
today we here with my dad here for Father's Day.
Yeah.
The minister, the Honorable Minister Brian Foster.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Giving God all the glory. First of all, giving Jesus Christ, who's the head of my life, all the glory, and for the blessing that He's given me with the two young men and a young lady that were born from Darlene and I. I'm thankful thankful for each and every one of you guys. And then the wives that have been added in the last 2 years, they've been a blessing to us already. We got our first grandbaby. God has blessed us. She's athletic, strong, and seems like she's gonna be one of the quickest people, mind-wise and physically. We just see all of that coming forth, and we speak it into existence that when she start preschool, all A's. When she go to elementary school, kindergarten, all A's. When she go to elementary and all the way to the next year junior high, all A's. You're going to junior high to high school, all A's.
Yes,
Going on to college, all A's. Going on to med school, all A's. Going on to law school, all A's. And be just a choice of careers that she wants, and she can do. And
Bailey's gonna be an awesome kid,
awesome person.
She's gonna be very awesome.
That's what.
We appreciate you, but that just shows you how selfless you are. You wanna, get the interview off on somebody else, but this is about you, bro. It's about you, bro.
Oh,
so what we're gonna do is
praise God. I receive.
We're gonna lead off by just giving us a brief synopsis on your upbringing. So you grew up in Atlanta, Georgia?
Yes.
Correct?
Atlanta, Georgia. Grady, one of them Grady babies.
Okay.
Bailey said she's saying amen, Grady baby. so and once I was born, we went straight to Perry Home Project.
Perry Home Project. What part of Atlanta that's in?
That was in the tough area, west Atlanta.
SWAT.
Over off of Bankhead Highway.
Okay.
Carver Home being completely destroyed and knocked down, and then Perry Home, where I first started, is gone. Carver Home has been turned into a nice area because they wanted to build it so that the white people in Atlanta can get the city of Atlanta back.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but with your growing up in Perry Homes.
And
what I'm saying? And Carver Homes. So how was it, growing up in that area? You had to take care of what? You had two sisters. Well, at that time you had one sister.
Yeah.
Auntie Decky. So, how was it growing up in that area, man?
I tell you, it was a blessing, and it was a tough time too. Being a little boy in that neighborhood, and my dad left us, and my mother had to move out of Perry Home to Carver Home so she can be near her mom and her brothers and her sisters, and her sister.
And she wanted that support system.
It was a support system. Her sister, my aunt, who was one of my favorite people in the world besides this crew that's with us, she dropped out of school. So my mother could go to get her degree in nursing, and my aunt kept me, and then when my mom had the second child, kept Decky, and she was extremely intelligent also, but she actually dropped out of school to help her sister.
Auntie Sue.
That's my aunt. Yes, sir. We call her Sir because that's what she always been to me, Sir. But she was Ollie Ingram, and a good woman from day one.
So that selfless spirit pretty much just transformed over, from her on to you.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
And it started with my grandma.
Mm-hmm. You growing up, I know, you Perry Homes, grew up Carver Homes. Auntie Sue, she pretty much, dedicated a lot of her life to, raising you and Auntie Decky.
Yeah.
And fast forward to little baby Brian walking to the store. We move forward to Big Brian going over to Sylvan High School.
Yeah.
So we're gonna, fast forward over until where life started getting a little bit more interesting for him.
Yeah, I tell you, high school was something totally different from anything that I ever thought. I thought that was a place where you go until you turn 16 and you drop out and hang on the corner with the guys. The guys who I thought were the cool guys, they were the guys that had already dropped out, and they was hanging on the corner. They hung at the Oakland City Park. So anytime I go through the park, I'm like, in a couple of years I'll be out here with y'all. and I tell you, it was a miracle that in the 8th grade, the football coach.
Wait a minute, I didn't want to interrupt you, but so where were you guys staying at that time when you was in high school?
Oh yeah, we moved. My stepfather was a good man. And I should be mentioning him on Father's Day. He was a good man. He married my mother, and him and my mother bought a house over in Cascade.
Okay, and so the neighborhood got a little better.
The neighborhood was a whole lot better because it was no more project. But the only thing was we had to kind of get used to white people because it had us integrate with white people.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the best friends I ever had when I was a little boy was a little white boy.
Okay.
But I tell you,
was his name Randall?
No, it was y'all. Brian, y'all had Randall, but I had Alan.
Alan, okay.
It was just similar.
But I just wanted to make sure we touched on that where what I'm saying, because you was bused over to Sylvan High School, correct? Because that was a more integrated school. What school were you supposed to go to?
I suppose I had gone to Brown High School.
Brown.
I don't even know if they still have Brown, but Brown had the white people moved away, and Brown became a black school.
Mm-hmm.
But Sylvan was one of the last ones in Atlanta to do the integration.
Mm-hmm.
So I went over to the white high school. Man, the coaches act like I was like somebody off the TV, Jim Brown or something. The coaches was like, "You gonna play football for us, right?" And I was kind of a little soft and timid, but I was a big boy. The coach said, "Yeah, he gonna play." And I said, the coach said, "Well," I said, "My mama ain't gonna let me play." But he called my mom. She said, "Big fat rascal, you need to do something with him." So I started playing football. And my first year, I got pushed around. But my next year, I was the dominant guy.
So where would you say a lot of that dominance came from? Do you think it was just you, or was it did the coach pour into you, or where do you think that that whole, I have to say that prideful spirit came upon you? Because we all know you can't play that game without having some type of self-confidence.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You got to have some type of self-confidence when you go out there on that field and feel like you're going to pretty much, dominate this next man.
Right.
And oftentimes it appears that you took that same attitude when it came down to your entire life. You know what I'm saying? You went after it.
You're so right. Yeah, that's correct. My son, and that is so correct, because I tell you, when I first went out on the football field, I didn't want to be out there. I was trying to figure out a way how I can get kicked off the team, but I just wanted to be, for them not to want me to stay on the team. But the coach, it was one of the coaches saw something in me, and his name was Coach Hunter. I'll never forget him. But when he saw me and he saw I was really quick off the ball, and I could run, I was fast, and I was strong. And he always said something called being hostile, mobile, and agile. And I thought that was the most important thing in my life, is that being hostile, nobody gonna push me around. And being agile, that means I can move. I was able to move faster, move around, and better than anybody. and the mobile and hostile. That was me. And my hostility was against anybody who thought they can play against me. I got it honestly. You all three of you guys got it honestly. Jessica played basketball, and Jeremiah was a real good basketball player. Brian, he played basketball, but he was more so football. But the thing about it is that everybody had the confidence. And see, Jessica had the confidence. I can see her playing when Jay had the confidence. He's supposed to have been on the 7th grade team, but he was one of the stars on the 8th grade team. So that's because he didn't fear no boy that was a year older. Sometimes when you go to play sports, you think about a guy that's older than you. Like when I first played, I was like, man, them 10th graders, boy, they're gonna be tough on me. But when I got on the field, the 10th graders was afraid of me.
Yeah. So, and I mean, it's like, sports played a real big role in your life. It even got you to where where you got an education at Savannah State.
Right.
So,
I didn't say anything about that, but
moving forward, high school, you was a good high school player. Kind of plagued by a little injuries, would you say?
Yeah.
Injuries played a big role.
Yeah,
However, it still got you to that Savannah State.
That was an experience in itself because my whole idea was I was going to drop out.
Savannah State or high school?
High school.
Oh, okay.
At 16, when you got, and the way it was in Atlanta, when you turn 16, you can just go sign yourself completely out of school. You don't have to go no more.
Yeah. What about you told a story where you got your school books and you used to throw them out the school bus window?
Oh wow, man! That was, now I'm gonna tell you, every year they give us our books. This your book for this class. This your book for this class. And I would go in the gym most of the time, and
this was high school, right?
Yeah, and throw them right out the window and on the ground, and didn't care where they went. And but I really didn't care anything about school. I took the math where you just had to add 2 + 2, and English. As long as I tried to put a verb or a noun together, they let me get by. But I couldn't write no sentence. But it was and I stayed in the gym. Mm-hmm. And, the coaches liked me being in the gym. I was one of the boys in the gym, and I just I didn't really think about no education.
Yeah. But that Coach Hunter, man, so he pretty much kind of put that fire up under your butt to get you to realize that hey, school is important.
I had no idea though. Yeah. College, I never would have thought.
Yeah, that wasn't even in your mind. So now take us back, like around what year was that?
1975.
And so 1975. Okay, yeah. 1975.
I was in the 10th grade.
10th grade, and you wasn't even thinking about college.
No way, college. Yeah. Man, that was for people you see on the TV wear some little glasses and little horn rim glasses and stuff like that. I thought I was gonna be a cool kid. Print shirt.
Would you say that was the majority of black men growing up?
That was, and I talk about this all the time, and then I want to share it. Our skills and talents are used so much by people for entertainment purposes, and we don't really never get the picture. It was I saw on 60 Minutes back in the 70s and the late 80s. They did a story about the young black ball players, and they did a story about a kid named Dexter Manley, really good ball player for the Washington Redskins, and he had been through 4 years of college, could not read a lick, and he didn't get college credit for of course, 4 years of college playing college sports, and none of his credits were college courses, and it's amazing that when I was at Savannah State, I actually saw that firsthand. Mm-hmm. Guys would play, and every year coach would bring in 30 guys, and them guys would play, and then by the time my freshman year was over, 15 to 20 of them are gone. Mm-hmm. So out of 30 kids who had a chance for education, you got 10 left. Then that third year come, those 10 that was left, it might be 2. Mm-hmm. And by the time we graduated, in my graduating class, I was the only one. Out of all those years, 30 kids a year.
Yeah. So, that's a blessing. You know what I'm saying? And that was even before you found God. You know what I'm saying? You was out there, you know, just living life, really.
Yeah.
And but somehow, you know, he still had his hands on you.
Yeah,
Because he
God.
knew that, you know, you had a calling on your life.
Yes.
You know, and you had people praying for you.
That's
you know?
right.
And I mean, like I said, that was a blessing. That just show you, you know, many walk the path, but only few make it
There's
through.
a lot of people called, but it's a few that's chosen. They with me, even though I had thought that I was going to drop out and be with the guys on the corner. It was something on the inside of me that kept saying there's something else to this, you know, and that was God.
Yeah, most definitely.
It was
So,
God.
you know what I'm saying, fast forward, you know, boom. We went through 4 years, Savannah State, played ball, had a great time.
Yeah.
Graduated from Savannah State, which is a big accomplishment.
Working
What
on
year
it.
was that?
Back in 1984.
84.
Got a degree in marketing, economics, and
Full
accounting.
scholarship.
Full scholarship, paid
Okay.
for everything, and paid for all the books that I was throwing out the window. I found out how much them books cost when I was in college. I was like, good gracious of life. You know, I was throwing away serious money. But, you know, I knew how to, but, you know, when I was in high school, I know how to, as the teacher said, your book is 101, and then I take somebody else's book and change his from whatever he had to my 101, so I turned his book in. So that kid ended up whatever he was, had to pay some money or something before he graduated, but I was fortunate. You know, being a little knucklehead, but God still had me though.
Yeah.
And he made a way for that other kid to pay for his book too. So
Oh yeah,
hopefully, kid ain't still in the 12th grade.
Can't get out.
Can't get out because you ain't paid your book. But praise God, I thank God for what He did for my life and some of the people He brought in my path. You know, me and my buddy Cease and other kid Norwood, we got a hold to this Jesus thing. These people came on our campus. We and the football players don't. We were known as you come in there, you might be thrown out there with nothing but your underwear. You know, you come in the players don't. And these guys was out there.
What did you say about Peacock Hall?
Come over and drop your drawers.
What'd you say?
That made me say when my baby girl sitting next to me.
I ain't never heard that before.
That's what it was. That was a statement that we had.
When you stop, drop your drawers.
that was. So any girls knew that what we were talking about. God forgive me though, but
we can't say that on in this climate.
Yeah.
It's 2020. It's what they say. It's PC, politically correct.
Yeah, and
You can't talk like that. Somebody be on brought charges on you.
And they got the Me Too now.
I'm about to say,
The
Me Too people go
yeah,
crazy.
Me Too. What you
That's
did?
like that.
Peacock Hall.
I wish I could find some of them girls you had, cause we're gonna sue.
I was in Peacock Hall in '84.
Anybody who was in Peacock Hall,
Come and
Call us.
Come and get some of Brian Foster's assets.
And then
research truck.
and then just what they had. Oh wow, they had
Get some of his Social Security check.
We're entitled to conversation.
and be like Bill Cosby.
Papa, don't you worry about me. Well, I live a life, but it just ain't mine. I know all you son, won't you let me shine? Come on home.